Here we are. So it's Ray and Sigo and Sam, and it is the local support kickoff. And we haven't had one for a couple of weeks because I was away, and then it was a bank holiday in the UK last week, and also in Kenya. And yeah, so the main updates are that I had a meeting with a client on last Friday, just passed, and managed to sort of check in. And that was it'd also been a couple of weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks even, since I had managed to speak to the client. So that was great to get that update. I guess what we will do right now is just go straight to the board. Ray is new. Have you downloaded and installed the local support project, Ray?
Yeah, I managed to get it running. I had a bit of a look through the code base as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, good show. So here we go. Let's put this there. So yeah, we've got a number of things in play. So I mean, as well as speaking to the client, I was able to sort of go through and check in with what everybody was doing. Ray, is the organization of the tracker, or is this something you've seen so far, the pivotal tracker that we have?
Yeah, and I mean, I've done some Rails work before, and in an agile environment, so I wasn't completely familiar with the kind of setup as is now, but I took a look at it over the past week. But it was tough to kind of find an issue that looked like it needed working on.
Right, sure. Yes, well, and so a very quick overview. I mean, we've got this in this current section. This is all the stuff that people are working on already.
Right.
You're more than welcome, if you prefer to work with somebody, to reach out to somebody who's kind of in progress and say, hey, do you need any help with so and so? If that,
right.
if you wanted to do often the things in here. So for example, like Zmago here on this one, each of them corresponds to a pull request that's kind of in progress in the local support system.
Okay.
on Git, and yeah, so we can sort of see that there. That's Mago's one there. This one I think is just about finished up, and it should be generating a load of refactoring things that maybe would be great places for you to get start. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so in fact here, right. So Zmago has created a refactoring ticket, which we will look at here, for things related to this story, and that was, I was sort of saying to him. Yeah. It's funny. What I sort of wanted to do, right, is he's got these like 5 issues in Code Climate here, and what I was sort of wanting him to do was to sort of take, some of them are kind of like related about the same method, is take them and create, one issue for each, chunk of Code Climate stuff as refactoring tickets, and then we would have those 3 things. But he's kind of gone ahead and just said, like, put them as one thing like that. anyway, but so actually that would be, if you were just looking to get your feet wet on the system, we found that these refactoring tickets are quite a good way in, because there's less pressure than creating some new feature that, like, what's it all about. It's just you've got some existing tests, existing feature, and here's some code to clean up is a potential way.
Yeah, no, that sounds like it might be a good place to start before moving on to something a bit more challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. So we've got the kind of minimum thing that actually allows me with Zmago's thing. I guess, do I need to do it? I think we've got. I think I've reviewed this already, and maybe I won't just press go now, or maybe try and find some time to look at that separately. But that should be ready to go in. But yeah, so going back to the point, so that each of these tickets in here, if they're in this section and they've got finish as an upcoming thing, then they probably correspond to a pull request in the GitHub. So then, in principle, anything that's in the backlog is something that you could start working on. Right. Usually we kind of say, well, let's try and get things voted on first. I think we've got one here that's like probably needs admin input on that in order to get set up. Admin requires admin input, I suspect, annoyingly. This post-R volunteers opt to do it. That's actually, I don't know why we've ended up with 2 of those. Marowen is working on that via API key. I think it must be like a redundant story or somehow. Well, that was like one of them was investigated. That kind of needs cleaning up. But yeah, so there beyond refactoring tickets, the things that you could in principle just be working on would be like linking the feedback form into the site, view list of upcoming events, or search local events.
Right.
And
Right.
But I'd say definitely, what I strongly encourage everybody to do is to, like, you know, if you're thinking of working on something, you know, take the link and paste it into the Slack channel and say, hey guys, I was thinking of working on this, and we can have a chat and see if it's like oh, demons. And one of the things of course, the idea is that the 1, 2, or 3 value of them is supposed to give you an indication of how hard they would be to do. So
Right, like just kind of an estimated measure of complexity.
Exactly. And we've gone to, like, although in many projects we don't have that for bugs and chores, we've added them because a lot of people have said, well, you know, we're not really, you know, we're an open source project with high churn, so we're not trying to predict the future. What people want is they want to know what they're getting into if they're starting on a chore or bug. So
right.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, and then we've got the icebox, and what we would often do in kickoff meetings, although I don't know that we'll necessarily do it, is we'd start voting on features. Like if we had run out of stuff to work on in the backlog, then we would vote on things. And I've pulled in actually the clients, which is Voluntary Action Harrow, have prioritized that the stuff going forward is this kind of events epic. So you can see, like in a few previous weeks, we've got the event stuff in there. But yes, I think what I'd be very keen. It would be great if you were interested in working on refactoring some of these code climate issues. Are you familiar with code climate?
Yeah.
So that would be great. I'll just go to Sigu. Are you there? How's things?
Yeah, I'm here. I've been quite busy of late. Not even had a chance to help Cess and Stella. I can see their peers are still stuck.
Yes.
So for this week, actually, what I will try and do is to sort out those 2 peers. Yeah, for Cess and for Stella. For the cache files, they're giving Cess some headache.
Yes, no, absolutely. So I think that the key thing that Cess wants to do ultimately, my suggestion is to check back out to the earlier commit. Like she wants to get like here, get back to, for example, here, like the last green commit. Like that. And then what she wants to do is I would do RM minus R, and then whichever it's like, where we've got it in features. So this is one thing. So hopefully you shouldn't encounter it too much as a problem, Ray, but we had someone check into the ignore these cache files that we use for kind of sandboxing the acceptance tests.
Right.
And then that's caused like various knock-on problems for different developers as they try to merge them back in, like we're creating all the new ones. And I think people had a lot of just sort of, because the directory had been ignored, it meant all of the different cache files from all of their failed test runs and this, that, and the other had all just backed up in this directory.
Right.
And I think that's the problem, Sigu, that Cess is experiencing there. And if I can just go to the right part of local support to find that. I mean, it's an annoying thing, and it makes me question whether the caching framework there is kind of, maybe we should be getting rid of it. I think there's this danger that the complexity of it puts off developers. You know what I mean? And then, against what are the benefits from it? I mean, the benefits are that the test runs are more predictable, and that we're not spamming people's stuff when we run the tests in CI, and that the CI tests are more reliable, perhaps. But there we go.
Was this VCR?
It's VCR and Puffing Billy. So we've got
okay.
So VCR cassettes there and rec cache are the two. So we've got VCR cassettes, and so the thing is, that what we can generally, we should generally not be afraid of running this and just blowing away these directories, because having done so, we've got, I have checked in the ones that we kind of need, and so having cleaned out that directory of all the muck and gump and what have you, right? You can then do git check out of those directories and get whatever's in the develop branch. If that makes sense, Sigurd.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, the thing where it gets tricky, particularly for the developer who's less experienced with Git, is then which branch you're on. And we're in this situation here where Sess is on her development branch and she's trying to do this, that, and the other. I mean, there's a complexity here of needing to merge the develop branch into her branch. I mean, almost it would be tempting to cherry pick out various parts of this stuff. I mean, it might almost be worth, you might almost say to Sess, Sigu, that it might be better to kind of take a fresh branch and make the changes again from a fresh branch off the develop branch. Might be simpler, but still, we want to do some of this. Then clean out the cache. Then merge in develop. Well, this is the sequences are going to be difficult, right? Right.
So which branch is she on currently?
Well,
You're assuming she's in which branch?
I'm assuming she's kind of in this branch of cache files. And I think either way she needs to create a new branch. So she needs to roll back. Because one thing is check back out to an earlier commit.
Okay, yeah.
I create a new branch. And I guess it's one of those things where I'm fairly sure that if I had it all sitting in front of me, I could work through it with her and just make it happen. But getting the sequence exactly right so that it'll work for the situation she ends up in, it isn't complicated. Create a new branch. Then it's kind of create the new branch. Yeah, that would probably work. Yeah, like there. Get it back into that earlier place where she hasn't, create a new branch, then clean out the cache, then merge into, then clean out the cache, probably then refresh from Git.
By Git in GitHub.
Yeah, merge in.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, it says merge in develop. Or more simple might be start from a fresh branch of develop.
Right.
Hey Sess, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Hey, good to see you. So we've just been talking about the how your situation and how it's a little tricky. I've got kind of like a little bit of a guide that might work. I've been kind of explaining it to Sigu. I'm gonna have to go on to my next meeting soon, but so I'll just pop those notes into your pull request there, and maybe Sigu can work with you later to help you try and get this.
Yeah, sure. I'll explain this to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Good stuff. And then yes, Stella just needs a review. So we've got Ray, Sigu, Ray, Sess, Ray. Ray's been doing the 169 course, and this is the MOOC, and is interested in local support. And I was going to say, Ray, one of the things that you can do to get involved in the project is reviewing pull requests and just giving comments and thoughts on those. That's very, very welcome. But otherwise, I'd love to get you started on refactoring some of these things from Zmago's pull request.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Good show. Now, is there anything else that you would need to get started?
I don't think so right now. I mean, I've got everything working on my machine right now.
Fantastic. That's great.
So I should be able to just dive in. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I would say is yeah, I mean, if you can access the things, is maybe pick one issue of these code climate issues, create a new ticket for that. Oh, let me add you to this the tracker. Do you have, you want to just paste me your email address, and I'll make sure that you're able to create tickets and things.
Yeah. It's the best way to say it. Actually, yeah, just ray@thelondonvandal.com.
Ray at London. LondonVandal.com, like that.
.com. Yeah.
Cool. So you should be able to create tickets. And I guess in order for you to fix these things, then I kind of need to merge this pull request in. So I'm sort of tempted to push myself to do that. In order not to block people, I guess what we might just do, this is a little unconventional, is I might just like kind of with us here look through this and what's going on. So also partly to mention for you, Ray, some of the, what this is about here. We've got this, we're pulling in volunteer opportunities from some different places. This pull request is we're gonna pull in volunteer opportunities in Harrow from this reach skills group.
Right.
And so, I mean, the logic here has got a bit convoluted, but so the volunteer ops controller is now checking this is, I think, because of the code climate is flagging as being convoluted, but we've got sort of feature flags for those two things, which is fair enough. We've got new scopes that have been created for seeing the do it and reach skills volunteer opportunities. That seems that's reasonable. The organization link is now, it might be pointing to do it, or it might point to reach skills. Yep, that looks reasonable. And then I think we've got these services, which this is effectively a clone of how this works for the do it. Yeah. So I think we're probably all right there. I think I'm going to go ahead and merge this. We're also, we're trying to use, the cucumber and the RSpec and all the things that you learned in the course before, right? Now, interesting. Did you complete both of the courses, the part 1 and part 2?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah. So I think I've convinced myself.
I started part 2.
Sigurd,
So,
say again, Sigurd?
Yeah, I'm saying I started doing part 2.
Oh, great.
Yeah, then I found out about Agile Ventures.
Okay. Well, I think
then I just never finished. I started working so much with you guys.
Right.
I didn't finish the course.
It's funny because I think in some ways, once you get into it, that's actually the fastest way to learn beyond the course. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge, get that in, and we'll see what happens. And then so that will be on the develop branch. And so potentially then for you, Ray, if you're forking from develop, you'll the issues that are these code climate things will be there for you to make improvements on.
Right. Okay.
Cool. And and what I would say is that don't feel that you need to suffer in silence. We've got I'm really busy with this NHS contract at the moment, but the local support channel is there, and I'm there, and Sigurd's there, and other people, we can hang out and just anything's on your mind, just chat away. And pull request early and often, and small. I just love small pull requests. Rather than having one pull request with all 5 climate issues fixed in, do one. Let's get that turned over and out the way, and hit them in separate pull requests, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Cool. Well, I think that's our meeting. Sigurd, you're going to work with says sorry not to have so much time. I wonder if we might move this meeting to a different day when I don't immediately have another meeting after it, but we'll talk about that in local support, in the local support Slack. Is anybody else blocked on anything immediately that we need to unblock them?
Maybe Seth can give us short reports, a very short report.
Yeah, go on, Seth. How are things going with you?
I've been good, but I've not been working anything on our elevators because of the cached files, but we'll sort out with Sigu.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, apologies for that. It's I was saying before, it's really tricky, and don't feel bad that you're stuck on it. It's kind of like it's kind of annoying because we're trying to, by having the caches, try to fix one problem, but then it makes it more difficult for the developers. So yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I think we can, if Cess will be available after this Scrum, after this kickoff, we can do something.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you'll be available, but if you're not, it's okay.
Okay, I'll be available. Sigu.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Good stuff. All right, guys, great, wonderful to meet you. I hope we get to talk more soon. Feel free to drop into any Scrum during the week, not just the local support kickoff one. But yeah, we'll catch up soon, and great to connect Sigu and Cess there, and yeah, see you all again soon.
All right. Great talking to you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Nice. Bye, guys.
Bye.